All right, welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're jumping right into one of the most exciting and, frankly, complicated frontiers out there, the AI healthcare space. We're going to break down two of the absolute biggest names making waves, Tempest AI and Recursion. You know, the AI biomarket is just set to explode, and the big question on everyone's mind is simple. Who's going to win? We've got two incredible companies here with two totally different answers to that question. So let's get into it and figure out what really makes them tick. Okay, so let's properly meet our main contenders. In one corner, you've got the drug discovery powerhouse, Recursion, and in the other, you have the data-centric innovator, Tempest AI. Two titans, for sure. Now, just a quick look at the numbers tells a really interesting story right off the bat. Recursion, yeah, they've been around a bit longer, since 2013. But then you look at Tempest, founded in 2015, and whoa, it's already got a market cap roughly 3 times larger and about 5 times the employees. So we're clearly looking at two companies playing in very, very different weight classes. But here's what's really fascinating. They're both tackling the same industry, but their approaches, they're from different planets. It's not just about their size. It's about their core philosophy. They have fundamentally different blueprints for how they think the future of medicine should be built. And this, right here, is the absolute key to understanding everything. Think of Recursion as the drug hunter. It's basically a pharma company that's using AI as its ultimate weapon to find and develop new medicines. Tempest, they're the data architect, building this massive integrated platform to power personalized medicine, all built on a foundation of data. Recursion's mission is crystal clear. Find new drugs, but do it way faster and cheaper than anyone has before. They're using AI to just churn through mountains of biological and chemical data, hoping to slash the time and cost of the notoriously slow and expensive pharma R&D process. So, how do they make money? Well, their model is the classic pharma playbook, just supercharged with AI. First, they use their tech to find promising drug candidates. Then they partner up with giants like Roche and Bayer, getting licensing fees. And of course, the ultimate jackpot is getting a drug all the way to the finish line and raking in revenue from sales and patents. Tempest, on the other hand, has a completely different vision. Their mission is to build this all-encompassing system for what's called precision medicine. This means they're collecting everything: genomic data, clinical records, lab results, and using AI to make sense of it all. The end goal? Giving doctors the tools to create a totally personalized treatment plan for every single patient. And their revenue model shows this platform approach perfectly. They're making money today by providing genomic sequencing and analysis services to hospitals and cancer centers. They also package up all that data, anonymously of course, and sell those insights to drug companies. The long-term vision is to become the essential operating system that guides individual patient care. Okay, so you've got the hunter and you've got the architect. These completely different strategies mean their risk and reward profiles are also worlds apart. Let's break that down, because it's really important. Recursion's whole strategy is a high-stakes bet. The upside is just insane. A single blockbuster drug could bring in truly world-changing revenue. But, and this is a big but, the downside is just as extreme. They have 0 commercial products on the market yet, and the road through clinical trials is incredibly long, expensive, and uncertain. It's all or nothing. Tempest is playing a totally different game. They're the study builder. They have real, substantial money coming in the door right now from a bunch of different streams. And their massive proprietary data set is a powerful mode. The risks here are different. It's more about execution, navigating tricky data privacy rules, and keeping those crucial relationships with hospitals and pharma companies strong. Now let's look at who's actually backing these very different bets. Recursion's ownership is pretty telling. About 78% is owned by big institutional investors. We're talking major players like Vanguard and ARK Invest. This is pretty much what you'd expect for a publicly traded biotech firm. But when you look at Tempest, wow, it's a huge difference. A whopping 67% of the company is still held by insiders. This tells you that the people who actually built the company are still very much in the driver's seat and are playing the long game. It's a different kind of confidence than the institutional money we saw with Recursion. So, a high-risk hunter versus a steady architect. It sounds like a classic rivalry, a real head-to-head showdown, right? Well, the actual relationship between these two companies is where this story gets really surprising. Yeah, forget everything you might assume about them being direct competitors, fighting tooth and nail for the same prize. The reality is way more interesting, and honestly, it says a lot more about the future of this entire industry. $160 million. That's the potential value of a massive 5-year deal that these two supposed rivals signed in late 2023. Now, that is not how competitors behave. That's the mark of collaborators. So get this. Here's the twist. Recursion, the drug hunter, is actually a customer of Tempus, the data architect. Recursion is paying Tempus up to $160 million for access to its gigantic library of patient data. Why? To train and improve its own AI models for drug discovery. This partnership completely reframes the picture of the AI healthcare world. It changes the entire narrative from a simple two-horse race to something much more complex and, frankly, much more collaborative. So in the end, it's not really about picking which company is better. It's about understanding two very different but complementary models. Tempus offers stability and the foundational data infrastructure. Recursion offers that moonshot potential of discovering a life-saving drug. It's a question of what kind of future you're betting on. This quote just says it all, doesn't it? The drug hunter needs the architect's maps, and the architect's maps become way more valuable when the hunter uses them to actually find treasure. They aren't fighting over the same territory. They're literally building on top of each other's work. And that's the real question to leave you with. If one company is building the weapons and the other is providing the intelligence, who's really in charge? Maybe the future of AI in medicine isn't going to be shaped by a single winner at all, but by a powerful ecosystem where different players, like the hunter and the architect, have to work together. Thanks for joining this explainer.